Hello and welcome back to another White Album 2 merchandise review. Now today we are going to start by looking at the manga, the White Album 2 official manga. Pretty excited to dig deep into these. This is one of the quintessential pieces of merchandise for any White Album 2 collector. They're very cool, they're very inexpensive, so really go out and buy these. These are really, really cool. Now, taking a look here, we see it is White Album 2. And this is illustrated by 2C equals Goroa, or galore in English. So this is book 1, as you can see. And this has been supervised by Fumiaki Maruto. He is the content writer for White Album 2, was heavily involved in the series. So they didn't fully outsource this, which I think honestly is a good idea, kind of leaving it to the original creators to overlook things and direct things. So it really, really follows the main storyline. Everything that happens in this manga is canon, although it pretty much follows exactly what happens in the game. Things do, differ slightly. They have to cut some things, they have to bridge some scenes in different ways, but very, very cool. So this one was actually an early produced version of it. So it came with this little, I'm not sure even what you would call this little book wrap, paper book wrap. So this is comic number 1, White Album 2. And it's that one more time. One more time as in we've already seen this in different types of media. So once more, we're going to go back to this masterpiece and take a look in a different format, which is fun. So let's go ahead and take a look what this book has to offer. I am going to take off this little sleeve just because I don't want it to get damaged while we're flipping through. And as you can see in the background, usually when I do my White Album 2 videos, I have these here. So we have 2, 3, and 4 here. Right now we're going to focus on 1. And it's long. For a manga, if you're usually reading manga, it's going to be about this long. This whole thing is about a third longer than a normal manga, so it's pretty heavy. Now, looking inside, we have these cute little drawings by 2C equals Garoa. Adorable little turtle, adorable little bird here. Love that. Story and art. So we have a full art image of Haruki, Kazusa, and Setsuna. I do love the full art pages, and I do respect their decision to be doing that. Always, always very, very cool. Now, just now, when I opened the book, something fell out of it, which is kind of a neat little thing. It's not that important, but this is a little slip that often comes with books when you buy them in Japan. It's almost like a stock slip. It'll tell you what the price is. Here's the barcode, just in case the barcode is wrapped in plastic in the original book. The bookkeeper can just use this. So it has the original ISBN, otherwise the book number, and the price it should be sold at, which was 650 yen. Manga in Japan is so much cheaper than it is in the West. In the West, this would probably be at least $8 or $9. So White Album 2, book 1. So that's just kind of a cute little insert. I keep it just for the sake of keeping everything as it was when it was published, but yeah, neat to know if you ever go to a Japanese bookstore. So, jumping right in, we have the character introduction. There are some people that are fans of the manga but never played the game, simply because the manga is very convenient. You could bring this, say, onto a train or, to your daily commute, because daily commutes are pretty long in Japan regularly. So manga are very, very popular, even for those who don't have time to dedicate. How long does a White Album 2 take? Probably at least 50 hours, depending on if you're trying to get all the roots or not. So this is a good alternative to that. So the art in here is very nice. It's pretty simplistic. The shading is pretty simple. And yet it's on point. You can kind of tell there's some dot style shading here. You could see the dots in the background of that. And you can kind of see the dots here with Haruki, but they're very, very small. So the dots per inch in this is pretty good. The budget on this, I think, was pretty high. So that's always nice. So it pretty much just starts exactly where the game starts, it does go fast. So as you can see, Setsuna is already here singing on the rooftop, and we're just a couple pages in. So they're moving on, he's talking to her, and then suddenly they're in the classroom and he's friends with Setsuna. And that was, well, you can tell that's so fast. And we still have 3 more to go. So it pretty much follows the exact same premise of the game. Oh, glasses, Setsuna. Pretty much exactly how it goes through, especially in the introductory chapter. There's not really choices that the player can make. So this is going to follow exactly as it was as you played through the introductory chapter. The meeting of Kazusa. She's so beautiful. The rejection of Kazusa. It's an adorable manga. I will complain about the size, though. If I were to hold this and be reading it casually, it's so heavy. It's so thick. I greatly prefer the tiny books. And then the famous scene of Haruki walking in on Kazusa after she'd just woke up. It's a really well-made manga. They have some facial expressions. This is kind of what differs from the game, is you get to see these exaggerated facial expressions, which you wouldn't see in the game. The game has a very strict set of expressions for each character, and that's where the manga can kind of deviate and do these cute little things. The little chibi Haruki's, the bandage on his head after he got smacked. Those kinds of Japanese tropes. So that's neat to see in this medium. I do like the variety here. You hear yet again Haruki's panic. So it really, really differs in that sense. It gives us, I don't know, I guess it makes the characters feel more well-rounded rather than being so stuck in, oh, well, Kazusa's always angry and Setsuna's always happy and Haruki's always bored. I'm bored, but I guess level-headed is the word I'm looking for. You know, that flat-faced expression. This really dives a lot deeper into it. So here we are at Kazusa's fever scene. So about halfway into this book, we're pretty close to the concert already. So Haruki's taking care of her, practicing that guitar, trying to get well enough to perform. Of course, Setsuna in her festival outfit, but she was stolen away to the practice space. Love it. And then here they are, and they're already performing. And the kiss scene is happening. So as you can tell, it moves very, very fast. You could probably read this in, I don't know, half an hour, maybe an hour. And in the game, that's probably going to take you about 15 hours, give or take, to get to this point. So it's about 10 times the speed of the game. Gotta do math. So very cute. And it does give us a few scenes outside of the game. It's also important to note that all of the visual novels are not super not safe for work. They're all kind of you can tell here, you can't really see anything, but it's obviously you can tell what's going on. The whole book is written like that. So there's nothing extremely explicit written in the manga. And that helps a lot for getting the rating down and to not have it wrapped in plastic like we were talking about earlier in the bookstore. This allows people to kind of open it up, check it out, decide if they want to buy it, and usually it becomes a lot more popular that way. So a lot of artists try to keep their manga unexplicit for that reason. They want to appeal to a wider audience. So that's kind of something they did, and they did it very well. We'll take a look at some of it later on. So, of course, we know what happens after this. Haruki finally confesses to Kazusa about what's going on, and things happen. You can tell that they're happening, but it is censored in an artistic way. So they did it really well. I really do like that. And then coming to the extremely sad close of this part is them on the train heading into the airport and watching Kazusa fly away. So it ends here just at the end of introductory chapters. So this book covers the entirety of introductory chapter. That's why it's thicker than a normal manga, and it goes so fast, is that they had a lot to cover. So that brings us to the end of this book. Now we get this adorable little sketch, just kind of a preview of what's to come. So we have Setsuna here, we have all three of the side heroines, and Kazusa is facing away from the viewer. And I love that. I am such a sucker for foreshadowing and symbolism. So this crudely sketched little image is so amazing to me. I love it. If you've played the games, hopefully you have if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. It is so cool. So coming soon. The special thanks page, another little turtle and bird, which is 2C equals Godoa's kind of mascots, I guess you would say. And then just the credits again. And that is the end of the first volume of this manga. Really, really cool. Just a quick summary of like what the story is on the back, which we know, of course, is the trio of friends, which eventually becomes the duo, and then all the drama with the love triangle. You love it and hate it at the same time. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for joining me on this merchandise review of White Album 2. I will specifically be finishing off this book series reviews, but I also do other White Album 2 merch reviews. So I hope to see you there sometime. And until then, I hope you take care. See you.